All right, folks, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is another day. Like I always start, this is the day the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to Talk TV Media Network. Important topics to talk about today. Along with my colleague who's out there, over there in London. The importance and role of journalism in Liberia. Today is a special day for all media reporters around the world, for the industry of journalism. It's World Press Freedom Day today. So all of you media gurus, enthusiasts, supporters, well-wishers, joining us from around the world, welcome to Talk TV Media Network. My name is Sam Gadu, along with my colleague, Maxine Pakio.
Yep.
My brother, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for the invite, and always a pleasure to be here to talk about issues where we can educate and enlighten the minds of the people. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. World Press Freedom Day.
How is life over there? How are things going on with all the king's coronation that is coming up tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
Actually, the coronation is the entire week, but Saturday mainly the event will be done. But yeah, this whole week street parties are going on, and celebrations. Honors are going on as well. So it's a whole week thing we are going to be on anyway.
I know you guys will be. In London is packed with world leaders from all across the globe.
Well, yeah, because King Charles III as taking over now from the late mother as king. Or you must be aware of as well that the United Kingdom is still controlling the Commonwealth countries that they liberated, or so-called liberated yesterday, countries that they actually were suppressing, but later they got their independence. And those countries, one by one, they decided to be incarnated and to be brought in the so-called system of Commonwealth countries. So whenever they're having program like this, it's for them to celebrate their kinship. It's for them to celebrate, their solidarity as well. So
right.
That's why you will see a good number of entourage of leaders coming here, because they all were invited to come. Those that will be here, they were invited to come anyway.
We even saw the president of Liberia, Dr. Weah, George Manneh Weah, in flight, heading for the coronation.
Yeah, we're following that as well. We tried to even ring this morning from the embassy to find out. Um, I mean, they not so much of the president coming, but the rumors that were heard was that the president was traveling with at least up to 37 people.
Wow.
Uh, some of them are not even government officials, but rather. So we wanted to ascertain the facts. Unfortunately, the embassy wouldn't give us any further information, or they could say yes, the president was invited by Buckingham Palace. So it's unfortunate, if I may say it that way, that under the current circumstances in Liberia, when civil servants are struggling to
Right.
make ends meet, when civil servants are not taking pay, when protests are still being held from one ministry to another, from one agency to another, citizens crying for their padam and paid or so. And we see a huge interage that is leaving the country. Uh, uh, I mean, with the bill coming on the country itself, because no leader that is being invited for this occasion, bill will be taken by the royal by the royal by the royal people or the government of the United Kingdom. No, you're coming on your own. You're responsible for your hotels and everything. So
And
to
and
take,
and I think it's not just coming and being responsible for the hotels, Max. I think when you come into the king, you can't come empty-handed. That's part of it. That's part of the
well,
tradition. They come with stuff, to
yeah, yeah,
give.
yeah. That in fact, even at that, they sometimes they do run competition as who will bring the best gift also.
Hmm.
So obviously, poor country like Liberia to go spend, yeah, to go spend at least nearly $1 million to look for a gift for somebody is a complete waste. It's a nonsense. Hugely, it's a huge nonsense. That our money will be wasted like this again, because all of them, the allowances are paid to them. Uh, they are all of them are coming. If they are making $500 an hour or so, they are going to mark them $500 a week. Let's say an hour. So imagine now the program is on Saturday, and the guys have arrived. You know, they arrived already today also. So what are they going to be doing here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 days? What?
Wow.
Some leaders are coming. They come in Thursday night or early Friday morning. They come, go straight to the program. After the program, they gone back.
Yes.
But
Yes.
because those people are responsible people. They're thinking about their people also. Some leaders are not even coming. They're using their ambassadors to
Hmm.
attend the
Right.
event. Yeah,
That's true. That's
they,
true. You're quite right
yeah.
about that.
The ambassadors that are accredited here, normally we see this program. They normally attend the program to grace the occasion. So it's a waste of taxpayers' money, and it's a waste of time. But it's just that at the same time, if you don't have anything to do, sometimes you can listen to any call that will come to you.
Wow. Yeah, that's the fact. I mean, it's not easy to travel with that kind of entourage. As a leader of a country, it's safety, security. Yep, hotel
Yep,
travel
yep.
expenses. It's quite a lot on the taxpayers' money when it, especially Liberia being poor as it is. You
It is
know,
too exorbitant. Yeah, too
yeah,
many of them.
highly inexplainable.
Too many of
Especially.
them.
Yeah, but let's jump right into our topic: the importance and role of journalism in Liberia. You've been in this field for a long time. I can say you've seen it all, right? When it comes to first and foremost, happy Press Freedom Day to you,
Yes, and back
and to
to you.
all of you.
Yeah, and back to you as well, because at the end of the day, once you decide to get in the field, to say you are interested in the media and you start to build an empire, you automatically become one of
Yeah.
everybody that's in journalism. So thank you too as well, and happy Press Freedom Day to the entire folks at that Talk TV Media Network as well, and to the rest that are following this program now.
Yep, yep. So it is, man. This is our national holiday, and as you see, as you could see, we saw the president of Liberia today. Were all the press, most of the people were marching out, celebrating the day, marking, and even around the world, as you can see, when it comes to freedom around the world, media freedom, how journalists
Mhm.
are being jailed, suppressed,
Yeah,
suppressing freedom of speech. You know, from your perspective, the importance and role of journalism in Liberia. And I want us to kind of dwell specifically on Liberia because the society is getting out of hand when it comes to the media landscape, right? So, what's your take? Talk to us about how
yeah.
important is it when it comes to journalism in Liberia?
Well, yeah. First of all, let's lay the foundation for this day. Every year, that's about 30 years ago today, May 3rd, as is celebrated and commemorated as World Press Freedom Day, uh, uh, which is also in the United Nations Declaration now.
Hmm.
And this year's theme, as defined by the UNESCO as well, states that we are shaping a future of rights. So this year theme is shaping a future of rights, freedom of expression as a driving force for all human rights as well. So it is so significant that 30 years ago, a few individuals thought it wise that indeed was necessary that uh, this day should be set aside and should be celebrated. It should be commemorated so that at least even guys that have decided to take on journalism when they go out there and they don't come back alive, we can remember them on this day.
Right,
Uh, those are making difference. People like you now who been in it, who have built such an empire as well, where your media institutions is providing information, disseminating information, and educational, and that you too you should also be remember and be thankful as well. So the day is significant in the sense that remembering each individual who continue to play a role in making sure that press freedom is celebrated. Uh, is done so. So in the context of Liberia, uh, as well, thank God that we have for some years ago now, an organization was established known as the Press Union of Liberia. These organizations are all over the world, especially where freedom of the press is allowed. Uh, Through such organization, journalists and media institutions
right,
operating in those countries can be protected because it's also being run by people who are also from the same field, the background in journalism or media as well. So Liberia, with of no exception, supposed to celebrate this day, commemorate this day. Freedom of the press uh, is is um, is is attached to all of us that are especially in the
hmm,
media area, and without aid, even the First Amendment of the United States of America also states that the freedom of the press must be protected by the First Amendment as well of the United States government. Or also, it's critical. It's critical to a democracy in which the government is also accountable to the people. So without freedom of the press, even some of the information that your media institution can disseminate through the through journalists or so, uh, you won't be able to do it. Then there will be no democracy as well because
Hmm.
At the end of the day, if you don't have people to police the government, which is the media, as watchdog of the society, to make sure that indeed they stand between the people and the government, then obviously democracy cannot even be celebrated as well. So, Liberia, the only thing I have a series of problem with respect to the 21st century media and journalism in Liberia as well, because when we look at things nowadays, young people are even jumping into the profession, thinking that it's a place to go and get richer or get rich quickly, thinking that once you go into journalism, you can be famous,
Hmm.
yeah, and forgetting to know that this profession, the first thing that should come, to one's mind is uh, passion. You must be driven by passion.
Right,
If,
right.
if you are not driven by passion, and you say you just want to go into it because people will know you as a journalist, then you are wasting your time as well. And these are the people now, especially in the context of Liberia, that are damaging the institution, uh, the, the issue of journalism across the country and beyond the country as well, because a lot of young people today are jumping into it without having the first thought. Also, that is a profession, noble profession, that when you enter into it, passion should drive you, commitment should drive you, sincerity should drive you, critical analysis of issues should drive you as well. But we can forget about almost everything. And Sam, you won't believe this. I think majority of them as well. We wants to see about this cattle thing. Yes, they will go interview. Yeah, they want to attend or interview so that
Yeah,
after the interview they can say
the
they are
Kato
waiting.
thing is a whole kinds of stuff by itself. But Max, though, you touch some very key significant points right there, right? The importance.
Mhm.
You talk about passion,
Yeah,
and there's no other better way you could just say it. To me, people need to realize that this is a career by itself, just the way someone goes to school to become a doctor
yeah,
or entrepreneur, business person, a nurse. That's how journalism is.
yeah,
But we see it in the context of someone with social media nowadays that has a platform or a Facebook platform or social whatsoever, self-declared journalists. We see as though they're playing the role, and these are the people that are polluting the media part of it, as in, you know, making the industry look bad,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because if you have a passion for something, you're gonna make efforts to know if you have the desire for it, to learn
yeah.
it, to get to know
Certainly.
the ethics of it, as in
Mm.
balance reporting, as in this is how it should be done. Because if you
Yeah,
want to become a doctor, you're gonna go to school to learn how to become a doctor, right? You can't just get up overnight and say, I'm a journalist.
yeah,
you know it's very very sad. I mean, to talk about that. But when you look at this whole media thing in Liberia, the whole cartel thing you're talking about, my man, media journalists will flung into an event, and more or less, uh, uh, the executive or whoever calls the press meeting or the media, this and that, they have something on the side to give to the media. Say, man, y'all need to promote this thing in our favor. This thing, my man, yeah, your copy. So it's turning to me more or less as in journalists or journalism in Liberia have been looked at as beggars.
yeah. Certainly.
They have diminished the profession to a begging profession. Because if you cannot report a balanced story or a truthful story about someone, even if the story is against them, they're not even going to invite you to their press conference whatsoever.
Yeah,
You know. So so
certainly.
so now the question is, where do we stand as the group, those who are on the side of good, the right, the professionals? What can we do to make it right? To weed out all these other, what I mean?
Yeah, I think that is a simple and a straightforward question to actually answer. Uh, you know, what I would want to see is a respectful journalism, and then responsible journalism to be done as well, because, like I said before, it's a noble profession,
It
except
is.
people who are taking it to be something of a joke also, that anybody can be. Once you get a smartphone, you can become a journalist overnight, but it is not so. What we need to do is, since we are seeing, especially in the context of our country, we're seeing today, we're seeing a huge number of young people uh, uh, picking up interest in the profession, uh, and think. What we need to do now is to guide them, to mentor them,
Hmm.
and drive them through. Uh, Tell them, be real with them and be realistic to tell them, especially for those of you who are building up media empires as well. You need to be very frank with somebody and tell them that, for me at my institution, this is what I want, and this is how I want things to be done. Because at the end of the day, it is the image of this institution that you will be representing. At the
Right.
end of the day, it is my character as a CEO that people already know. It is my image as well and characters that you are going to be representing outside there. So when you begin to mentor them as well, you are, paving a good way for them. And then follow up by, a lot of trainings. Yes, some of them may graduate from vocational training institution, but I can tell you, Sam, uh, training every day, learning new things, and picking up new skills and things will make you to grow bigger in the profession. That's why even here, I mean, I remember, when I came in this country first, I benefited from lots of trainings with BBC as well, just to brush my skills up. And almost every year or so, we attend, at least I'll be opportunity to attend one or two training courses or so, and I'll benefit from it. So media institutions should take, days or trainings. They should take training to be very, very, very serious and candid if they want their institutions to be well represented. If they want their institutions to be a kind of well protected by the very journalists that are working for them, then do not just rely on somebody who just graduated from vocational training yesterday and they're working for you 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You don't even have time to, send them for, maybe on a steady visit, wanting to brush up whatsoever and mix with other media journalists or so to just, beef up. So I see this as a challenge in Liberia. A lot of media institutions, owners, they don't care. Uh, Even in terms of pay, they are usually underpaid, especially those that are already well established, institutions that are already well established and they've been making money a long time. There are journalists that are there, they don't care. They don't really care whether they.
Talking about that, that's one of the topic, one of the issues right there, being underpaid
Yeah,
journalists in
yeah,
Liberia. Could that
yeah,
be one of
indeed.
the reasons? Don't you think that could be one of the reasons for uh, most of the journalists um, doing what they are doing, being so desperate? Because a journalist goes somewhere, someone wants to be honest with their profession and wants to be able to do something right, but then because of that, they are kicked out or they're not being paid. And then they bring someone else who just want to take a stipend, something, you
Yeah,
know, because looking to I'm looking beyond the scope of living in a nation where there is too much poverty because of the poverty rate and the inaccessibility of jobs, not having too many jobs, available for these could be the cause for some of these things. Because someone sitting home, they got to feed their kids, and all that they've known is, being a good reporter, journalism, and stuff like that. And and now they cannot be hired because the institution that wants to hire them is telling them, we know where you belong. You belong to this party, so we can't hire you here. If you're reporting for us, you got to report like this or this way, not according to what you learn in school,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, and this is where now the question as to what does freedom of the press mean in a democracy, and uh, and it states that freedom of the press states that expression and communication through published media, like in print and video, is a right. So obviously, like you are, now running this empire, is established and running. It's your right as an institution now, media institution, to make sure that indeed you publish for people to see. You do what you're doing like this one now for people to view as well, to follow. And at the same time, freedom of the press is codified as well. Let's remember that is also codified in multiple documents. And that being said, that set international standards as well now. And then at the same time, the government should not interfere. No government should interfere in your work that you are doing with this freedom, or censor as well media that critical of state power. So the the analogy you just brought in terms of yes, some media institutions, especially when you're running a media institution, that you have editorial staff or so, and the
Right.
editor in chief is there, where it is the editor that will have to qualify this particular story that a journalist brought or so. And once they, in the context of Liberia, once the journalists happen to bring such a story also, and they line in the hand or on the desk of the editor in chief, and they see a name there, that, of course, normally what they do is they will take a phone call, they will take a phone and make a call and say, "Oh, I got this story. I just going through it also.
Hmm.
Uh, what is your take on it?" And then they talk to the person. Maybe the person is so close to them or so, or because of the name that involved in that story, even if they are not close, they
Right.
want to. The editor in chief is calling so that at least the person can be abreast of that situation, whether for them to judge if they should allow the story to go or not. Then the editor in chief, now it will be left between the editor in chief and the person that is in the news
Yeah.
story, and then the next
And
thing
so,
they call coming, my man, don't let that story go and think. Then the next thing, yeah, you the journalist now, you waiting that you
yeah,
want to hear your
I
story
get
in
it.
the news. It won't come.
And the
So it's like
frustration now, the frustrating thing about that too is the journalist has gone to work, done their homework, did whatever research and found out the story, researched it and wrote it. And the editorial staff now, they're not gonna write it, And I believe me, the thing that you just mentioned, I literally have heard and I know media institutions that their editorial staff won't publish certain stories in Liberia because they are aligned with the government. They will not get their cato. They will not
yeah.
get their little monies coming in. You know
Mhm.
that. So when a journalist like that found themselves in such an institution, it's difficult to operate independently.
Oh, of
Almost
course.
impossible.
No, you can't. At the end of the day, you can't. Not even just the media. Even for some of us that are critical and we are in the vanguard of advocating as well for social justice. There are
Mhm.
media institutions that wouldn't carry our press release. Yeah, they won't. They don't even want to pronounce our name on their media institution or so, because why? They are dancing with the devil that is moving around today. So there are a lot of young people today in Liberia. I've come across a lot of them that really want to do the work independently, that have decided with their whole minds and soul that they want to be journalists, not just a journalist, but at least a seasoned journalist as well. They want to do the job with passion and thing. But because of the fact that they they have to hold somebody knees before they can stand up. This is where the problem is, because when they go to this institution, they're
Right.
meeting their rules of engagement there as well. And It's not a bad thing that, especially when it comes to freedom of the media, of the press. Every country have their own rules of engagement. But at the same time, when it comes now to institutions, I think media institutions, owners, should be able to actually exercise restraints. I mean, give the people the job to do. Let them do it diligently, and you too, you should try to be an open-minded individual, because uh, by you just killing the story or putting the black eye on the story because somebody who closer to you uh, is involved in the story. Let's say, for example, the way we just passing the latest news in town right now, with the Speaker of the House sharing money,
Yeah.
and team into a huge amount of money. So there are media institutions. You read a press release now, as an human rights organization. You carry, there are media institutions that won't publish it. You won't even hear that story on ELBC. So
No,
it's
no.
sad. It's sad.
Wow. Do we miss the days of guys like Philip Wisse, Inquirer, or Tom Kamara? These are people, that have worked in government, and they were furious to even criticize government. They wrote, and we saw a lot of government leaders chasing them. But at the same time, press union was there. There were
Yeah,
body of institutions that were there to support them, right? As in,
yeah,
where is the Ministry of Information? Where is the press union of Liberia? Because these are the entities that's supposed to be behind these individual institutions, because they are members, to support your members. Is the
yeah.
press union of Liberia even effective like they should? You know?
Sam, is as far as the issue of press union of Liberia is concerned, the umbrella organization of media institutions and journalists, I think they have fallen back greatly of late. The 21st century is not has not been uh, too good as far as the functionary of the press union is concerned. We have been seeing things going on so wrongly, including elections as well, uh, practicing rigging elections going on there as well. As far as protecting the integrity of journalism and relations is concerned, the press union of Liberia isn't doing justice to the media institutions and journalists in Liberia, and it's sad that on this day, as we commemorate another year and remember journalists and media institutions, and of course, with UNESCO coming up with the team shaping a future of rights. I think uh, the president of Liberia, where we stand today, I think it's a shame that even the situation of the hula palu that is within the institution
Mhm.
attached to electioneering is shameful. And they are also, especially for the young people, I will continue to emphasize this because I believe in the power of the young people, and I believe in them choosing careers that they have interest in. And so they are also confusing the young people as to which direction or what is the role of the media, in fact, in the society. They are confusing the young people because at the end of the day, what they are doing today, let's look at the election, how it ended within the PUL and going to court and whatsoever. It's good to do things legally, but then I never ever expected, obviously, that the press union of Liberia elections would have ended in court. Let's be honest,
Mm.
especially so as we are gearing towards national elections. This is an institution that should have put their houses in order as quickly as possible, as democratically as possible, so that they can set an example that the young people they will be sending out in the field there would go and do their jobs diligently as well. But it's unfortunate, Sam, that we we are not where we're supposed to be as a nation in terms of uh, celebrating World Press Freedom Day. And at the same time, once that institution is in where organized, then meaning they won't be able to even protect journalists that government is fighting every day, media institutions that government is fighting every day. Because if if Talk TV media is reporting a news or have reported a news content or so, and of course the government isn't happy that press, let's say Talk TV media and network reported this. What they need to do is to go through to the leadership of PL. But in Liberia, it's not happening. They will just come
right?
direct to you. They will just come direct to you and shut you down.
Now they shut you down, but you better run for your life because
Uh-huh.
now they will ransack the entire. If you have a place, an entity place, they will ransack the whole place
That's it.
overnight.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and defeating that not something you fought over the years to build. Some idiot just come overnight because you talk against
yeah.
something, somebody they like, they are following or whatsoever that you can't, even though there's truth, and that is what the United Nations Secretary General spoke about today.
Yeah.
They have a very strong statement. Let me just read it, then I'll let you pick up from there, Max. It says
Hmm.
the United Nations warned Wednesday on World Press Freedom Day of not only the rise in the killings of journalists around the world, but a disturbing change in the threat to people in the news media. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said it was unbelievable that data revealed earlier this year showed the number of journalists killed in 2022 was 50% higher than during the previous year. UNESCO data shows the deaths of 86 journalists during 2022, amounting to one every 4 days, up from 55 killings in 2021. But it is also the nature of that threat worrying officials at UNESCO. When we stated this monitoring many years ago, the main cause of journalist killings in the world was journalists covering conflicts, and now this is the minority of the killings, right? And
Hmm.
listen to this. Listen to this. Now, now, 90% of the journalists killed are journalists or local journalists covering local issues, human rights violations, corruption, illegal mining, environmental problems, and the perpetrators of this violence are not only state actors, they are organized crime, drug lords, environmental criminals. That's ridiculous.
It is.
So
It
it almost
is.
looks like the power of the pen or the power of the media is being hijacked.
Well, certainly, because even in Liberia, we have seen. Let me start maybe between 2000 to uh, 2023. I know we've lost more than 10 journalists, and all majority of them were doing their due diligence and performing their duties as well. And this issue of even brutality being melted against journalists in Liberia. I think, to me, I will squarely just blame it on the Press Union of Liberia, because if the leadership of the Press Union of Liberia was kind of a strong, robust, and always challenging issues, challenging
Mhm.
reports as well. When journalists is brutalized, or then the matter perhaps a committee is set or so, um, and you don't see any outcome of it. I squarely blame it on the President of Liberia. As we speak, Sam, we should have up to two, three, 4 cases that are still pending since 2017 to now, those cases to be properly adjudicated. It hasn't happened. So the President of Liberia got to wake up. The leadership have to they must begin to value media institutions, and of course journalists in general as well. They must be able to put their houses in order so that uh, individuals who are practicing journalism in Liberia are protected, institutions should also be protected. And I think we should, the people who are in the area there, they have to put away this issue of I know this person, we are close, oh, this is a government thing, and no, we don't want to go into it too much. And so, somebody have interest in this case, so the president of the PEL will start to play kind of a not showing any interest role as well. So these are some of the issues that you see. A lot of cases stay hanging. Journalists are involved, lives involved as well, and you don't see cases coming out in a way of investigation, even investigation committee that presidents have been setting to come up with findings and recommendation to the government as to way forward as far as media relations is concerned in Liberia between the government between the government and the media. So it is unfortunate that Liberia we found ourselves in this kind of a situation, and of course we're still referring to ourselves as a civilized country. Where can you celebrate civilization when you have no respect for the media, when you have no respect for for journalists in your country? All you want, once this media institution is in playing to your game, but they are critical on national issues, they are critical of your government, which of course is their job, then they don't like you. It means that, yeah, you should continue to hate everyone that in that media institution. It's wrong. And it's a shame, but it is happening, Sam, in Liberia. It is happening.
Wow, wow, wow. As you've heard it, folks, it is happening. It is so real. And we will be taking a quick break, and we will come back and also talked about the media age that we are in, the electronic age, computers, internet, the importance of that, how fast paced information has been flowing. But before we do that, we'll take this quick break to all our viewers. Hey, my Liberian people, if you don't find any other better network that you can market on, or that you can listen to, or that you can get the best of the best, this is the network, Talk TV Media Network. We are an online broadcast network right now, and we are looking at expanding eventually in the future. But right now, this is the best place to reach out, because Talk TV Media Network, we are the voice for the voiceless. We are the voice for you, all the Liberian people. Right now, you'll be able to find us on Facebook. You'll be able to find us on YouTube. You'll be able to find us on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, LinkedIn. Those are all the broadcast network platforms that you can find us. We are based in Liberia. We are based here in the United States as well. So we're not a small network. We're bringing you information that is factual, that is true, that matters to you, the community, the people, and the government. We are not a political party. We do not owe any allegiance, or we do not partner with any political party. We are an independent network. That is what Talk TV Media can do. This is what we do. Okay? We talk about politics. Anything about politics, we talk about it. We talk about healthcare. We talk about business. Yes, business empowerment, human empowerment. We talk about music. You know, there are a lot of people that are talented. Music. We talk about sports. All of that. Those are all the different things in communities, in people's lives we talk about. Anything that is important for people to benefit from or to know about. This is where we talk about it. Talk TV Media Network. So don't go there and just check for checking's sake. Subscribe, follow us, share us, like us, and save time on your phone or on your laptop. So whenever we come on, you will get that notification that we are on live. Talk TV Media Network. You can check us on our website at talktvmedia.com as well. So Talk TV Media is here to stay, because why? We are the voice for the voiceless. The Liberian people say the people who now get mouth to talk, we are that mouth for them. We are that mouthpiece. This is what we do at Talk TV Media Network. So stay tuned. Okay? We love you. Why? Because you make us what we are. You make us. All right, folks. Welcome again. Pleasant discussion here. The importance, the role of the media in nowadays journalism. And the next discussion we'll be taking over here, Max, is how has the internet influenced media reporting? Right. Um, when I was growing up, radio was there, print was there, internet was nowhere. You know, I used to remember the days where we used to go sit around the radio, one house, one entire house has one tiny radio, and just to listen to BBC World News, 5 o'clock, LRB. We all glue. When one newspaper comes out, we all want a piece of it to read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's coming out? Very interesting. But technology has changed the course of the media landscape at a different level. Fast-paced information flow is so swift. You know, here you are sitting in London. Here am I sitting here in the US, and we are reaching the globe instantly like that. Give me your perspective, man.
You know, I think in terms of the word, it's progressing, uh, and then developments as well coming up. The internet, the coming of the internet added the beauty of the profession. The coming of the internet as well added the sophistication of information dissemination. That yes, despite the long distance between individuals, somebody can be in a village, that they can listen to a news, that they can watch a news live, that they can be able to also participate in debates that will be put forth. So the the internet the internet influence on the media is actually in the positive manner, and the direction it has taken us as well is also leading us is a direction that many in times to come, that people will be in the most remote area
Mhm.
of our world. They will still be connected with people that never ever thought before that they are going to be connected with as well. So the emerging of satellites developments today, yeah,
Right.
we have so many being sent up, in the sphere there, to make sure that they help to disseminate information, to collect data, and to also be able to communicate as well. So as far as the influences of the internet is concerned, I think generations to come we have a very easy way as to how they will be consuming products through the help of the internet. So in all entirety, Sam is in a positive direction, and I think what we need to do now, especially people who are interested like you, who is interested in developing this media empire, whether you in the future you're going to be adding magazines, you're going to be adding newspaper, also
Yeah, print. Yeah.
all of those play an important role. So we're going to be, hopefully, I mean, there are newspapers now that actually they have tried to even get away from the hard copy issue as well, and they just do everything on the internet so that
Yeah,
you can sit somewhere.
you saw right. The local newspaper we have here, right here, even here in Tulsa, they are
Okay.
more online from your
Yeah.
phone, from your tablet.
Yeah.
Here. Early in the
Yeah.
morning, just open it up. You reading your
That's
newspaper
it.
on your
Yeah,
phone.
you're following development in your own community and you knowing what is happening. So you don't need to wake up 7 o'clock again to run to the nearby provisional shop or so to grab a copy and come back home to read. No, you just wake up in the morning while you're lying down. Maybe you get 2, 3 hours to wake up to go to bed. You scrolling, you're reading what is up for
But
your community now.
there are some of us though, old school, that like to go to the mailbox to pick up that, to get it, or to go to the store and looking at the hard copy, looking at the picture,
Mhm.
flipping, and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah, it's good, but I mean, as we are underscoring the significance of the internet influence the media, I think is also a good one because like you now you have young women and young men who are with the institutions. They go to villages, but you can sit way in America there and you get information on the fingertip. It's all because of the influence of the internet. And I think we should embrace it. We should use it wisely as well. And think that's all we need to do, especially from the media perspective. Well, my advice I can give to journalists as well, especially the emerging journalists, is to make sure that uh, you spend time, send the internet is available. You spend time to check and check again before you release that news, that content,
yes,
because it is that content. Yeah, it is those contents that you are releasing are the ones that are actually going to set the image of your institution, the image of you guys that are on board within that institution as well. So always do fast checking.
you're so right on that, because as you speak, I'm thinking, as important as the internet is, it can be dangerous too,
Yeah.
based on how you use it. It has its side effects, downside, because you can't just get a story and believe it. Because
No.
looking at technology now, with the AI, the artificial intelligence that we have, the max, I can take your picture and put a whole different face and even use your voice, and it will look so authentic. When
Yeah.
someone else listens to it, they say that's Max, and just put a different story on it. People will believe that, how quickly the internet and the AI can destroy you,
Mhm.
right? So as journalists, we have to dig deeper. The media part has to dig very deep, because the internet is moving so fast paced, globally, from the villages, someone's coming from everywhere, and that too. And another area that I want to take you, Marks, is back to Liberia as well.
Yeah.
When you look at the industry itself, women, the ratio of women to men, how involved are the females? Because a lot, when you look at the journalistic field, we see a lot of men. Males are, you know, um, are women interested? Are women involved in this field? Those that who are involved in the field, you know, we want to see, are there any disparities, going on? Are they given the opportunities? Because a lot of the press conferences we see, um, these people cover it. The men are there fighting. And when you look, sometimes you find one female in between trying hard to fight, to get news, to get information for their institution. Are there biases? Is there some sort of discrimination going on? As in some of these societies, you woman, you can't talk. That this field out, that man feel, that man area, that man feel here. These are the things I'm talking about. Where are our ladies? You a lot of us, we know some of them are involved in this area. Some of them are in production rooms. You know, but then there's no money in the production room, right? You only find guys. You only find guys who going out. Everybody now want to be a field journalist for the cartel, so they can
Yeah.
get something.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting down in the media production room now. At the end of the day, not much you get in to pay your bills. So everybody want to go out to just go, bam. I want to go cover this story. I want to go cover this story. Just a true story. Somebody was telling me that they're journalists for one of the media institutions that had to go to the CDC headquarters every time. That's all. Working for this media, that's all that person wants to go to cover. They're supposed to be in the office, but anything outside major event, they want to go and cover that story because they want to get something behind the
Yeah.
scene. They got to pay their way. But looking at the demographic of women, what's your take? What's your perspective?
Well, look, as same as compared to maybe, let me take it down to 30 years ago. Uh, I think we the number of women that I'm seeing in the profession in Liberia, I am really impressed because I see that a lot of women are interested in the profession, and a lot of them are not only just being interested, but they're making effort, especially so in following up to enter in the profession through vocational training. I have been to a lot of vocational trainings in Liberia, institutions in Liberia, and I have seen women, who are young women who are actually developing interest in the career. So I think the only problem we have is this some of the issues that you just outlined, wherein people are still a lot of males are still saying that look, this field uh, supposed to be or is for men, only for male or so. And sometimes I think they use their male power as well to suppress the women, and those
Yeah,
are even become
yeah.
even for the younger ones that are actually interested in the profession. They can finish the training maybe 9 months goes, and they need some kind of place to be training. Also, they find it very difficult to make their way through. Before I came, I have recommended up to 7 different young women.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, to the various media institutions in Liberia. Uh, they want to get start to kickstart. They want to enter so that they can at least start practicing as well. But they find it very, very difficult. So I think I will just use this medium as well while wrapping up on the question to appeal to media owners, stations owners as well to give the women the chance, especially the young women that are coming up and having interest in the profession. Because without practice, even when you finish, you graduate from that training, if you don't practice it, your skills are going to be dead also. Because uh, the reason you went to the vocational training institution is for you to learn, and from there you start to practice, and then you develop your skills, and on you start going. But chances are not being given to them, especially a lot of women in Liberia. So it's sad, and I hope people
Yes.
will
Luckily,
see this.
luckily, luckily, no. We're talking about the women media in Liberia, and we have one of them just show up. You know, even though she's coming a little late. Musu, welcome to the show. Welcome to Talk TV to Talk TV Media Network, your platform, and happy World Press Freedom Day to you out there in Liberia. You are muted. You are muted.
Happy World Press
Thank
Freedom
you
Day.
so much. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the same.
Yeah. Okay,
Welcome.
what am I doing here? Now that you have come and we're almost out of this, we'll give you, the preference. Females always we gotta give them their own right, their preference. What's your perspective as a female? Your perspective of the role and the importance of journalism in Liberia.
Yeah, I would say that the role of journalists in Liberia is very, very important in as much as the country is undergoing through so many things right now. You see, we are talking about election right now. We are talking about independence right now. There are a lot of things, especially things that are growing that needs to be, reported to the public, or the public needs to get information about. So journalists, the role of journalists is paramount because without them giving those information to uh, the public won't be informed. Especially, let's talk about the election. Liberia is going to election now this year, and they are looking at at us journalists to play our role. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I've noticed over the period, we are not independent. And one of our roles as journalists, we should be independent. We should serve as an independent body to the
Right.
public. You cannot be a journalist and you take a side. You have to stand, and people are counting on us to apply that duty, to apply that role in this election. So we got a lot of role, and one of the role also to contribute to the peace and stability of the nation. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot be a journalist, you raise fire. You should be the one to count fire. You shouldn't be the one to cause confusion. There are a lot of our colleagues out there during such uh they were said on the radio talk about things that people will not, they were talking about things that will cause chaos for people. I think as journalists we should come together and see how we can contribute positively to the nation than causing chaos in the mind of individuals. Because if you sit on a radio and you say something that will sound in the ear of people different, they are going to react different. Remember, people always say the radio are here, they're on the radio, it's on the radio.
Right. Right.
So it's
Right.
on the radio. They are telling us that everything they believe in us, everything that we say on the radio should be factual. And as you come with something that will be held reliable of. So I would say that we should always play the role to contribute to the peace and stability of the nation, and also to contribute to development. You cannot sit on the radio and cause confusion in the mind of the public talking
Mm-hmm.
about, oh, XYZ. You should be the one contributing. You can contribute in the mind of the people. You can develop the mind of the people. The people can see something when it's white. You can tell them this is blue, and they will believe it. So you can beautify things in the mind of the people. But if you go and make something look odd in the mind of the people, it causes chaos. So I was just tell my colleagues that let us play our roles as journalists in the nation. Let us be positive about what we do, and let us, focus on what we do. Let's do also research. Journalists nowadays, we are not doing research. In fact, we are the one that saying they say. And let us, yes. So let's do research. Before you sit on the radio, go and read. Even teachers, before they go in the classroom, now that they have expertise in those subjects or courses they are teaching, but they also do research. So as journalists, I will encourage my colleagues, let us do research before sitting on the radio, and do research before going on the field to interview somebody. Because you cannot go on the field to do interview if you don't know somebody, if you don't know about that person, or if you don't know about that thing you are going to interview that person about. So research is paramount
Wow.
also, and it's
Wow.
your role to do your research.
Max, while she was expounding on that, I thought of the two radio stations that are in Foya. You know how when these guys go on one side, they curse the other people, and the other guys go to curse the other people out, and stuff. And this infighting, the profession, and all of that, which is very, very important. That what she pointed, and Max, because I'm very interested in hearing from your perspective on this when it comes to the election that's coming. It's very key for journalists to report free and fair, unbiased information. How important is the media, especially this year in this coming election in Liberia?
Well, significantly, let me uh, thank Musu for analysis she just given, and she spoke with fact, and accepting indeed that there's something wrong within the institution, and there are people who are responsible, and she herself took the blame because she's in the profession. But look, if given the fact that these elections, as far as the information that we're receiving is concerned, that it is going to be one of the most contested election, and eye shaping election as well. I think it lies now in the hands, in the purview of the media, or media representatives, which of course include the journalists that are on the ground, and of course uh, editors of those media institutions. That bias will bring about trouble, because if you fail to report the fact, then you are creating rooms for confusion. When you see the fact and you sit only, or because of your connection with whoever this news content is perhaps exposing, and you refuse to actually allow it to go to the to press,
Mm-hmm.
you are actually breeding serious confusion, and it might end up even destroying not only your institution, but it will bring about a trouble. Media and journalists in general, in particular as well, uh, is play a very pivotal role when it comes to electioneering, because most people, like my sister just said, in the context of Liberia, when they don't hear it on the radio from a journalist like Musu also, they are not going to believe it. They say it on the radio, that first question they will ask, I've been hearing this. Yeah. No, I hear on the radio, but then it's true. I think what they say, the things say on the radio, I mean, don't they put, yeah, they only land it
And
right there.
that they say will go all over the place. Oh,
No, they finish with A. And oh, and Uncle Sam, the mayor here recently, oh, so that he the one did that thing. Oh, and it on the radio, but it's not true. So, my only advice I have to give to, our young people, particularly that are in the profession, is come in this profession with passion. Come in this profession with respecting dignity, your dignity. Come in this profession with the readiness to serve diligently, not to underscore anything that will jeopardize your own your characters and the character of the and the institution characters as well. So biasness will kill the media. Biasness will also destroy destroy any journalist that will want to be biased. We can see it today in Liberia. It is happening. Yeah, same after the election. If this election happened to go the other way and CDC government is not in power, there are guys that are in the media in Liberia. They will rather they themselves will pack up and they go to different country
yeah,
because of the role they are playing. Yes,
yeah.
even
Because what you're talking about, Max, is if you are so one-sided and so biased,
mhm,
the only news you have to report is for the president.
that's it.
Everything the
Yeah,
president does not do bad. Everything the president does, whether it's bad or good, is good,
let's go.
right?
That's it.
And then
Yeah.
if that regime comes and is gone, then you have no career.
No, you have no career, and that's what happening, and that's why we happen to many of them, even at the at ELBC, our own state media institution, which is ELBC or ELTV. They are so biased. Are always blasting at them. They are so biased. That institution is
So,
supposed to be a nuclear of media institutions in Liberia, where they will just sit in the middle, allow gay platform to everybody, but they are not doing it. Yeah, small radio, two radio stations there in Foya. There's one. I'm not going to call any name. There's one. They can't call me on it. There's another one that after my tearful appearance on the radio there from way here, from that time up to now, yeah, nobody can approach me. Even if I approach them, they don't give me airtime to talk in Foya again. No, because what I'm saying the fact, and I'm telling the people the fact. So
well,
this is
well,
danger.
our time is fast spent, and we can get off
Yeah.
anytime by 10 within an hour, 10 minutes from now. Your perspectives as we close the program. What do you hope?
Yeah.
What kind of future do you see within the next year or two? A new Liberia of journalism. What do you see as a female?
I hope to see that Liberia will have the best of journalists that will be independent, that will report the truth, that will be on they call it, that will be you know, that will not go after their own selfish gain. Like what he was saying, people calling themselves now political commentators. because they don't they want to fit in with they want to take a side. So it's, instead of taking that side or being independent, they call themselves political commentators.
Mhm.
So when they are preaching for this political party, you won't tell them that, oh, you are doing wrong. When they are preaching for this individual, you won't tell them that you are doing wrong, because they call themselves political commentators. And I think we shouldn't be that. I believe that Liberia journalists will be more of, proactive, more independent, more supportive to each other, and we have the best media. We don't have, if you do a research in Liberia, it's slim. Independent media houses are just slim. They're just few, and we need more for Liberia journalists to
So
be
could that
respected.
be because of this whole being underpaid, like what we have, media's journalists being underpaid, and some of them
And that's why he talks.
because of that, the Kato, they brown envelope that going undercover and stuff.
That's why he talks about having a passion. If you have a passion to do something, you won't, you know, terminate. You will have an integrity. You will
Yeah.
believe in yourself. So we should also focus on our passion. Some people go in the media because they think that the cattle. Many people getting cattle. You are paid for what you're doing. Yeah, you run a program. Your station pay you to do what you are doing. So I don't think you should go after cattle and leaving your own integrity as putting your integrity on a line to be destroyed. So let's look at our passion also. If you have a passion, you will provide, you will do the best of job, and people, you will receive or benefit in the future. There are a lot of recommendations out there. Liberian journalists, the few good ones are traveling out of the country. They are going for conferences, they are going for training, and even the embassy now are looking at journalists who are doing well to go on the international visiting program. So we can all be a part of that with our own character. Let's protect our character, and let's protect our integrity. Stop the cattle. Stop running after the cattle. Stop chasing
Amen.
after
I
things
say
that will
amen to
spoil your
that.
country.
Amen to
Amen.
that.
Amen.
Well,
CEO.
folks, that's how we're gonna wrap up, man. Let me get your last words. It was awesome. Show was awesome today, guys. Thanks for coming up, Max. You
Yeah.
know, before you, ladies first. Let her give her closing comment. Then it comes to you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Sam, for having me on the show. And I'm very sorry that I came late. I was waiting for lights. Anyway, I hope to be
Hey, y'all
back.
say y'all get back
Like I said
current
earlier,
24 hour.
no, I'm taking community current.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have to come late in the evening. But I'm so excited to be part of the show, and I hope that I will always be part now that I have started now. I pray that it continue. And to all my journalists, I want to say Happy Press Freedom Day, and let's make use of our profession. Let's be professional and professional about what we do. Thank you.
Good. Mark.
Yeah. Thanks, Sam. To our, especially to my young people that have developed interest in the profession, I want you to remember the role of the media in society in which you represent. In democracies, the media is fundamental to political life. I want you to remember this. In democracies, the media is fundamental to political life. It provides facts to allow us to be better informed about the issues that matter to all of us. It provides criticism and also open debate to ensure that information is tested. That's why when you come, you put question forward. Information is tested and examined as well for all points of view. So once you get in this field, this is the rules that you have to bear at the back of your mind and how you should be able to function to make it a better profession so that you all can enjoy it. Thank you so much. Happy World Press Freedom Day to everybody, as it is said this year. We are talking about sharing rights and protecting rights as well. So let's continue to do it. All of you that are actively practicing, we will continue to make sure that some of you who are our mentees will continue to mentor you in the very good direction as well. So thank you, Talk Media TV Network. It's an honor to be here this afternoon, the evening once again. And we always said,
anytime,
okay,
you
thank
know,
you
it's
very
going to be here every day. But folks, on a serious note, we want to be very, very thankful for following us today. But before I let you all go, this is a statement I just want to read quick. It was published by UNESCO on regarding today. It says freedom of expression as a driver for all other human rights. This year marks the 30th anniversary of World Press Freedom Day. It is a day to celebrate the fundamental principles of freedom of press freedom, to evaluate press freedom around the world, to defend the media from attacks on their independence, and to pay tribute to journalists who have lost their lives in the exercise of their profession. For this World Press Freedom Day, we encourage everyone to publish a single message. Everything is all right, because if everything is all right in the news, then something is wrong with journalism, and then journalism is compromised. We cannot protect human rights. So this is a statement by UNESCO on their website for all of us. And so we want to thank you. We will be here tomorrow, folks. Got another interesting program coming up. I intend to come back with my business show as well pretty soon. Hopefully, I might start it tomorrow. Second opinion with Sam Gadu. Okay. Until then, guys, thank you so much for coming. And
bye.
Let's fight for freedom. Let's be freedom fighters.
When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they killed their man, they changed their mind. When they killed their man, they changed their mind. What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters. What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters. You freedom fighter, you raping our women. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you killing our children. They are freedom fighters. Freedom fighter, you destroying our country. They are freedom fighters. Ayo, 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 ayo.